Well folks, my month-long journey in China has come to a close. But before I go, 5 things I love and 5 things I hate about China. Now, hopefully across the course of this series of videos, you'll know that I genuinely like my time here. I've done my best to learn the language. I know a decent amount about the history. I like going to see the places and talk to the people. But nowhere's perfect. My home country of New Zealand is also far from perfect, but here's 5 things I hate and 5 things I love about China. Let's go with the hate first. Number 1, the internet is blocked as you know it. If you want to get on any Western social media, be it YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, if you want to use Wikipedia, if you want to use Google Translate, Gmail, you bet your ass. Those sites are all blocked in China. There are ways around it. It's probably going to cost you some money. That part of the world is kind of cut off from China. So the internet situation genuinely sucks and is a real pain if you come into China. So that part is number 1. I really dislike that fact when I come to China. Number 2, things that I hate is how difficult some things are to be here as a foreigner. There's certainly some perks, which I might get to a bit later, about being a foreigner in China, but if you don't have a Chinese ID card, which is what the Chinese citizens have, that thing is linked to so many different applications, and I get it, 99.9% of the people here have that card. So if you've got that card, setting up anything is easy. You want to buy train tickets, use your ID card. You want to scan through your train tickets, use your ID card. You don't need to go through a manual check. If you want to register an app to use a share bike, use your ID card. If you want to set up payments, use your ID card. If you want to register a SIM card, use your ID card. But I don't have an ID card. So I have to go through the manual process for virtually everything. When I scan my train ticket through the kind of ticket checking gate, go through the manual person. Want to register these apps, I've been using my wife's ID card. Like, you have to use the ID card, or you got to do it the manual, the slow way, the difficult way. You can't just pop down to the shop and buy a SIM card. You need to go to the kind of main shop to get that stuff on the main service center. That is genuinely an extra pain. As I said, I understand why, if most of the population's got that card, why you would set everything up to be linked to that card. But if you don't have the card, your life is going to be more difficult. So not having an ID card and having to do things the difficult way, for me, that has kind of sucked. Number 3, things that I hate: the spitting, the throat clearing, to a lesser degree the littering, but I feel like there are bins everywhere now, so people litter less than they used to. But man, if you don't like spitting on the street, you don't like people just clearing their throat, you're not gonna like China, man. You see it every single day. Point in the future, guy just spat on the ground. Every single day. It's not really a habit that we've got in New Zealand. In New Zealand, people like to walk around barefoot. Some people, not me, but yeah, you'll see their feet are kind of black as tar. But spitting and throat clearing is genuinely pretty nasty. Does everybody do it? No. Is it more noticeable in the small towns? Certainly. If you went to Shanghai or Beijing, you're probably going to see it less. As I went to a few small towns here in Hubei, I saw it more. I saw some dude spit on the freaking bus, for God's sake. That's just nasty. So yeah, spitting and throat clearing, I find it genuinely pretty unpleasant. Number 4, things that I hate. It's not really a big gripe, but you got to get used to it. There's no toilet paper in the public toilets. Now, if you go to a fancy mall where people are less likely to be in a financial need to steal toilet paper, there's going to be toilet paper. I have seen one kind of public toilet in the park where you could scan a QR code to get toilet paper, but for the most part, if you want to take a dump and you want to clean your ass, you are going to need to bring your own paper, because they just do not supply the paper. That is a very big difference. Even the shittiest toilet in New Zealand, public toilet, is going to have toilet paper. So no toilet paper in the public toilets is certainly one thing that you're going to have to get used to. And number 5, things that I don't like. It's an easy enough one to ignore, and especially if you don't speak or read Chinese, but man, the propaganda is everywhere. Now in New Zealand, we have election time. If you're from any kind of Western democracy, you'll be used to the point of the year when there's an election on and there's bloody billboards everywhere and TV ads and people promising you the world. Well, they don't have that same cycle here, but what that means is there's propaganda just 24/7. I mean, it's not like right now, a lot of this stuff, Chinese dream, volunteer spirit, like you could consider that propaganda. Be a good volunteer. A lot of the stuff is like recycle, be respectful. So some of it's just like kind of generic, like be a good person messaging, but some of it's like listen to the party. Some of it's like the party is good and the people are happy. Like I don't know, man, I'm just not a big fan of political messaging. If you have a political party that you are particularly fond of and you support and you believe in their ideals, that's cool for you. Me personally, I'm just not a big fan of political messaging generally. It's not my favorite time of the year in New Zealand when it's election time. And just when I'm looking around, I can't help but read the billboards and stuff, and it's always bloody 12 values of socialism and whatnot. So yeah, just not one I'm a big fan of. If you don't speak or read Chinese, as I said, you can just let it go straight over your head. You're not going to notice it, but yeah, it is everywhere and it is all the time. Right, things that I love. Number one, things are bustling, it's lively, and stuff's open all the time. In New Zealand, things close really early. If you wanted to get printing done at like 9 o'clock at night in the suburbs, you got no chance in hell of finding a print shop being open. Even if you want to get coffee downtown, like after 4 or 5 o'clock, most of the cafes are closing. But not in China. Everything is open late. There's always somebody out selling something. Like I'm sitting here in this park right now, and there's like a little balloon shooting game for the kids. There's people selling other balloons, there's knickknacks. There's always something going on. I've bought like tea at like 10:15 at night out in the suburbs. Like there's always something going on. It's 20 to 10 on a Monday. Shops are still open. People walking around drinking beers, having snacks. It's very convenient in that regard. You don't have to worry about time as much. Like in New Zealand, late night shopping is like 9 p.m. once a week in a mall. In China, it's just every day. Everything is open all the time. So it's really convenient to get stuff done. If you want food, if you want entertainment, you're probably going to be able to find something, at least in the big cities. I'm talking mainly big cities. If you're in the countryside, obviously it's going to be a different story, but in the cities, it's always going on. Number two, things I love, it's really easy to get around. Again, this more applies to the big cities than the countryside, but in the cities, you've got the subway, you've got buses, you've got share bikes, you've got scooters, intercity, you've got planes, you've got high-speed rail, you've got slow rail. If you want to get from A to B, you're going to be able to find an option. You can even take a taxi. This whole trip, all the places I've been to, I've taken a taxi a grand total of once, if you include it being up and down a mountain. So I've been able to get around just using the public transport services. It's been really easy to get around. It's been relatively affordable to get around. That part is very, very, very convenient. In New Zealand, you basically need a car to get from anywhere, which is not like the main kind of city center. The buses and trains are really regular. Moving people is kind of what they do. So if you want to be moved around, that part's going to be really, really easy. Number three, you can do everything on your phone, assuming you can get past that step of getting things set up. If you can get your phone app set up like Alipay or maybe even WeChat, I've been using more Alipay, you can scan on the subway, you can scan on the bus, you can pay your bill at a restaurant, you can scan the QR code to open the menu at a restaurant. You don't need to get a physical menu. You can pay like some little rockmelon street vendor. It doesn't matter who it is, you can pay them using your phone. You basically can walk out the door, you've got your house key and your phone, and you're pretty much set. You don't need anything else. God forbid your phone ever runs out of power, but for the most part, you can do everything using your phone, which is remarkably easy. And I mean, the phone gives you all these offers. Like if you scan a store enough time, they'll give you vouchers and things like that. So there's encouragement to use your phone more. The use of cash has certainly drastically dropped. When I first came here in 2005, everything was cash. Very few stores took like credit or debit cards. Now nobody uses those cards. Those are already obsolete. Everyone just uses their phones. It is remarkably convenient. Number four, and this one's gonna sound a little bit propaganda of my own, on my own end, but everything's gotten better from 5 years ago when I was here, at least in this city in Wuhan. I mean, obviously the COVID thing probably didn't help things, but there's more paved streets. The drainage still sucks, but the streets, there's a lot that used to be kind of gravel or dirt that are now paved. The air, even though it's a pretty murky day today, does seem a bit clearer. It's sure as hell not as good as New Zealand's air, but there's 11 million people living here. The air does seem cleaner. There's a lot more rubbish bins. There's more subway lines. There's a lot of things that are just better than they were 5 years ago, from my experience having a look around. Things genuinely look to have taken a step forward, which is pleasing. I don't know what life's like out in the countryside. I haven't gone that deep into things. I'm sure it's a really drastic standard of living from there to here, but yeah, from what I've seen, there's a lot of cool stuff which has kind of been built or developed, and yeah, that's just encouraging, man. And the last one, number 5, is probably the most important one for me. People have genuinely just been unbelievably helpful. Now, this is maybe partly the fact that I'm a tourist, but people have been incredibly nice to me. They've given me directions, they've offered me cigarettes, they just keep being unbelievably nice. Like the guard who added me to his contacts so he could send me the map of the place I was trying to go that I couldn't find on my map. Like people just kind of going above and beyond to be friendly, to be helpful. That stuff is awesome. Now, I'm not saying China's got the only friendly people in the world. I like to think New Zealanders are also pretty friendly, but man, people have been unbelievably nice. There's been a few pricks. There was one fireman that got mad at me for using my camera, which is really rude, and another security guard, like at a security checkpoint, going through the train station with my hat was just really rude. But for the most part, people have been very, very, very nice, very helpful, really polite, and just like giving me directions, giving me advice on places to eat, just saying hello, welcome to China, just like random things like that. They're kind of happy to see a tourist, and yeah, man, I appreciate that. It makes you feel welcome, even if other things make life a little bit harder to get done. The people, for the most part, have been very, very friendly, very, very helpful, and that is much, much appreciated. But yeah, that's it. I'm getting on a plane. It's been a great month. Been to lots of places, met lots of different people. In another chapter in the future, I would love to come back and go see some different places, try some different food. But for now, my time in China is done. It's time for me to get back on a plane, head back to the land, a long white cloud. But yes, you guys take care of yourselves, and I'll talk to you guys again soon. See you later.